corroded plates, twisted struts, scattered scrap. The manufactory makes for a familiar sight, just one more ragged artifact from the corporation that once owned the system. Despite that, something about it sets you on the edge, perhaps because it also will form the crucible for an attempt to take on an SNARP hunter, the kind whose entire job is to bring in escaped sleepers like you, dead or alive. The rig is stuck behind the rock, running on low power with its transponder off. We hope that's enough not to draw attention. So, talk us through it. Durfin turns back to Flint, Cadence, and Xander, all of whom are crammed into the cockpit along with your crew. You have to make this place look like a colony. That is what the hunter will expect. Cadence adjusts first, her voice quivering a little with anxiety. You can seal up some of the holes, maybe install some lighting, fake it up? Okay. Durfin nods reassuringly. That's good. What then? Force them to go deep. Xander cuts in and everyone looks at him. He pauses a little, intimidated by the attention, but Flint nods at him to continue. I've been out here before, on a salvage run. There's an assembly line that runs through the whole place, filled with Old Manufactory machines. We seal the doors, activate machines, make it a maze of malfunctioning construction arms and dead ends. Alright then, control their route, I like it. Durfin smiles at Xander. And if we get lucky, maybe one of those old machines will do the job for us. I doubt it. Flint joins in. We'll need the ordnance from the silos, mining charges, fuel, whatever is left from this when this place was churning out Solheim goods. We furrow their brow. We blow the place. Make sure. Silence passes through the cockpit, the danger of what you are about to attempt dawning on everyone present. Okay. Durfin has a dark look. That's the plan. We can detonate the ordnance with a command from the rig, a simple wideband comm signal. We'll get them. Durfin pats Flint on the shoulder. Once they go in, that hunter isn't coming back out. He turns to you. I think we missed. Okay, don't take the bait. Then I engage. Flint rubs their hands together nervously. I lead them in directly. Right? Right. Durfin confirms grimly. How long do we think we have? There's a lot of factory down there. The hunter got to me and Carmen fast, and looks out at the cockpit. No more than 3 cycles. And the hunter came for us, and grimaces remembering the attack on Carmen's ship. They came out of nowhere, hit us hard and fast. If it wasn't for Carmen, we need to be ready for anything. It looks at you. There won't be a warning. Durfin sighs. Nice pep talk. Flint, you better find somewhere deep in that place, down in the bedrock. But make sure it has a back door, okay? He nods at the sleeper. The rest of us will get to work. Alright, you heard Flint. We do this and we do it right. We make our stand on this rock. Let's not waste a moment more. Okay, so we have storage silos, expired ordnance, prime explosives. There are a few things more dangerous than rigging up expired mining charges and fuel tanks. Carefully does it. Gather ordnance, mining explosives, emergency breach charges. There's a lot of old ordnance down here. If it can be gathered and identified. Lovely that we get a 2 here. We should face the hunter. All 3 parts of the plan must be ready by the time they arrive. To end the hunter, you'll need to set up the old mining ordnance left at the site and bring the whole vessel down. Okay, let's start with a 3 here. That's danger, but you'll have to start somewhere. Didn't have the best rolls. Execution, okay. With the stress, that's fine. We're going to push it anyway. That's a 6. Okay. And now. Okay, I'm going to see if there is anything better that I can do. That's not like danger, but I think everything is going to be danger here. We'll have to push it. No matter what. So here we can hack machines. One way to drive the hunter deeper into the factory will be to activate the old factory machines, closing off routes and presenting a deadly threat. Or sabotage doors. The massive bulkhead doors in the main factory require direct approach if you want to funnel the hunter into the trap. Yeah, so like no matter what I will have to like we don't have the time, so I'll have to use the ones as well. I'm going to do that. 2 stress, that's lovely. Jesus. Okay, 2 negatives. Love it. Okay. Make sure that that goes through. I don't want to risk fail there. This guy's in there. That's the only thing that's only risky. Wow. So exterior, the shell of the manufactory is full of holes to make it look like a colony. It needs sealing up and fast. The old Old Manufactory is a ruin. To convince the hunter, you will need to add lights, paint, signs, all the signatures of a working colony. I'm not going to use the 2s there. If there are 3s, I would use them, but that was a terrible roll for the first cycle, so I'm going to... I could maybe... It didn't matter. With the 2s, I couldn't get anything interesting, only... Yeah, that's fine. Let's uncycle. I'm glad that I didn't push it, but I will have to push. We'll have to push this. Okay, this guy's superior. That's the only non. Okay, you know what? I'm going to hold off on that. We have reserves here. Yeah, I'm going to push the ordnance there. Crate of mining charge is discovered. You hope at least some of them will still fire. Need to use the 3. Positive. Nice. 4. And I'll push it here. That's a 6. Let's go. There we go. The interior of the factory is rigged to blow, at least in theory. Go easy with that. Flint's voice rumbles over the local comms as you secure the final piece of ordnance. You turn to see them floating backlit in the entrance of the bay, one of many that you have rigged with ordnance deep in the manufactory. Down here, dust and flecks of rust float through the beams of your lights. The walls are bent and buckled. You've spent the past cycles here picking out a spot to draw the hunter down to. One day should be able to slip out of when the hunter finds their way in. It's a long time to be down in these dark tunnels, waiting. Like we are just about done. Their voice is flat, their tone pragmatic. You okay? Flint nods. You're to be done with this. They look over their shoulder, however it plays out. Flint glides into the bay slowly. Something I need to tell you. Something I think you'll understand. What we are doing out here is not about saving me, it's about Oliveira. I struggle to see Flint's face with the light behind him. I should be on a ship out of there, leading this hunter away, but they won't let me do that. Shake their head in frustration. If they would, they can't spare the ship, not after Carmen's got shut up. That's my mistake. I never should have let him persuade me to come with him on that supply run. And looks down. Done is done. What matters now, what I need from you, is a promise. Brings Iris's flash. Flint's bright Iris's flash. That you'll bring this place down with me in it if it means stopping the hunter. Promise. Flint nods. I knew you'd understand. You know as well as I that those who get close to us are at risk, that we as sleepers have to recognize what we open when we open the door. Carmen is my fault, I won't be Oliver's downfall too. With that, they turn and leave you in the dark. Okay, we are still, yeah. Their clock is ticking. Success, so we can make them machines. It's only a 4. You know, let's be done with this. The hunter's passage deep into the factory is assured. This might work. You float for a moment, observing the chaos of the old assembly line. The scale of the structure, the number of machines, the arms and fabricators, the welders and bolters. Suggests industry on a scale that you have never witnessed. The helium system, a system that now subsists on the leftovers of its failed corporate owners, was once filled with manufactories like this, churning out components and technologies, machines and resources for extracting the valuable materials and minerals that Solheim existed to amass. If someone was able to rebuild one of these places, put it back into operation, imagine what could be fed into the belt, what changes would come for its people. Yet, no one will undertake such a task because this place is haunted by the specter of Solheim, an entity that every being in this system can trace their origins back to, an entity that turned the entire system into a manufactory, a machine for accumulation, and that did not distinguish between human and machines as it did. You look at the broken machines, worn down and rusted, crippled and bent. Some of them have been put back into use this past cycle. It's part of your plan. Those jerked or turn randomly, blindly, groping for components that will never be fed to them. None of them are sentient machines like you, and so they cannot feel or think, and yet you cannot decide if for them to persist is a kind of cruelty that radiates from the system that created them, or the indication of a new life, one that grants them new function, new meaning, and the possibility of something more. Creepy, right? Xander floats beside you, his voice hissing through the close-range guns. Hey, the hunter will get spooked by those switching arms? He imitates the scattered movements of the factory machines. I doubt it. I'm just messing. Those things wouldn't have even scare cadence. So, Xander gives you a look. How can his hunter isn't chasing you? Tracker is deactivated. Huh? Xander shoots you a look. Lucky you, who did that? The captor. Xander goes quiet. I see. Can't deactivate Flint's. Sure. Xander looks down. You know, maybe once we're done here, let's try. I need your help. Xander looks out at the assembly line and sighs. Like Flint, I'm happy to do this for them. Turns back to you. And I want to like you too. Don't mess this up, alright? Xander gives you a hard look. Don't want Flint down. Xander kicks off and glides towards the exit without waiting for a response. You watch him go for a moment before turning away. Still so much to do. Okay, let's sleep on this. One more thing to rig up. Not going to use the one or the two. I will get a broken dice here. Broken die. 2 6s from Nia, let's go. Trick is to be selective, picking likely spots to install lights, giving the sense of a patchwork colony. Fortunately, I can't use Junie on this one. Come on, positive. Come on, not negative. I just need a not negative. Nice. The exteriors of the manufactory is as good as it is going to get. You hope it works. You know? Cadence's voice comes over the comms, shimmering with interference. From here, it doesn't look half bad. Look across the shell of the manufactory, now studded with lights and dotted with markings. The fresh welds and plates giving the whole place a fragile, patchwork feeling. If I was a piece of shit hunter, this is what I think a normal person's settlement would look like. Right? Better hope so. Cadence goes quiet for a moment, her attempt at humor only serving to remind you both of the desperate circumstances. Have you spoken to Flint? And pauses. I mean, really spoken? Spoken enough. Right. Cadence searches for a response. Flint is very loyal. I know they're quiet and, well, intense, but I just hope you two can find some common ground. We get on just fine. Of course, sorry. Aiden stops again. Nowhere is a refuge. For all of us. I was in trouble when I met Carmen. We all were, in one way or another. Griffin has told me a lot about you. And I can see what you are trying to do for Flint, for Oliver. Finish. Appreciate it. And I know Xander does, and Carmen will do as well, and Flint. We will see. Comms click off, returning you to the silence of the manufactory. You look out across the false colony, the glittering lights. They are a poor imitation of Oliver's real lights, those that indicate the colony's fragile, delicate state. You shake it off and move on. It isn't over yet. Well, as ready as we'll ever be. Funnily enough, Nia could have harvested here. Ah, what the heck, let's try. Let's try Junie. Okay, that's a neutral. Fine. Here comes the hunter. Wake up, sleeper. Seraphine is in the bunks. We've got incoming. Shake off the haze of forgotten dreams and get up. In moments, you're in the cockpit. Xander, Cadence, and Seraphine all gathered around the console. Only the local view shows nothing, not a single ship signal, and few objects beyond a scattering of debris. It's right here, I swear it! Seraphine jabs at the screen. A ship, small, but definitely a ship. Seraphine, Cadence sighs. I'll been up a while, get some rest. I know what I saw. Catches her eye. You look at the screen, its gridded view showing the scattered signature of debris, like schools of fish drifting in a soft current. The manufactory is a noisy blob at the center of the circle, one that dissolves into the background at its edges. Nothing. And then there it is, a flicker, a flash, a spark of movement, a light among one of the debris clouds. It flares and then is gone again. You look up and Seraphine meets your eye. He reads your expression immediately. Seraphine slams a hand down on the console, opening up the comms channel. Look live, Flint! They're coming in! Go deep and be ready to run! He pulls his hands off the switch. We better hope they heard that. Then you see through the cockpit glass the flare of an engine, faint and masked, but driving a squat, dark ship out of the debris. The Hunter. The ship seems to idle a little near the manufacturer's asteroid, drifting past the dressed-up shell of the old facility. Time to see if our fake colony is convincing enough. Guinness nervously clasps her hand together. Will they bite? They better. Seraphine looks concerned. Because if they think this place looks abandoned, the Hunter might just strafe the whole facility. Seraphine swallows hard. Wait them to dock, to come inside. Look out at the ship, and as you do, he jumps forward towards the docking tower. You watch for a few tense moments as it hesitates and then slides into position onto one of the docking bridges. It then sighs in relief. They went for it. Seraphine pats you on the shoulder. Good job. Brett is in the maze. We can track them now. Sales. At least that's the theory. Hooked up some basic monitoring devices in the assembly line. Xander calls over from the honor console. Few shitty cameras repurposed from the factory monitoring system. Not much, but hopeful enough to tell where they are at. Cadence, Seraphine, and you crowd around the screen. Xander flicks between noisy, black and white images and feeds of static. You squint into the fizzing dark, trying to pick out any detail. Then suddenly you see them. Shadow, drifting beneath a flickering light. Dark clad in military gear, a long gun held ready at their shoulder. Deathly pale skin, and in their eyes gleaming through the faceplate, glowing irises. Who the hell is that? Seraphine pulls back from the screen. They look like... Sleeper. Xander finishes Seraphine's sentence. The figure disappears outside the margins of the frame and Xander flicks through the feeds. Where did they go? Drift back from the screen, trying to think straight. Hunter is a sleeper or something else? You replay the image of the figure in your mind, but it has already shifted in your memory. It is your face staring back. It is Flint's. It is the sleeper's mask of death. Sleeper! Seraphine grabs you by both shoulders and looks you in the eye. We need to focus. We should get down there. Then their eyes are wide. This changes things. Changes nothing. Seraphine nods. We wait for Flint's signal. We hold here. The ordinance is in place. Seraphine looks at you for reassurance. The moment we get the signal, we blow it. You think of the mining charges rigged in daisy chains, the fuel barrels lashed to detonators, the command code ready to transmit from the rig. Seraphine sees the determination in her eyes. We hold. So you wait. Cadence's eyes on the manufactory below. Then they're tapping at the glass. Seraphine perched by the console, listening for the signal. Then you hear the hiss of an open comm channel. You look to Seraphim, and he hears it too. A static haze that fills the cockpit. You all go still. Seraphim nods towards an indicator on the console. Lens channel. Click, scrape, then silence. Seraphim frowns, tapping at the controls. What? Scrolls. Lens transceiver is gone. It's dead. Panic hits the cockpit. Xander gliding over to the console. Cadence going pale. Sleeper. Seraphim turns and looks back over his shoulder towards you. We need to go in. Go. Cadence looks between you, Seraphim, and Xander with a steely expression. I'll stay here. He glances nervously at the console. Give me the signal. I'll send a detonation signal. Blows hard. If it works. Seraphim looks torn for a moment and then nods. Let's go. You rush down to the airlock and suit up with the others, and then you are out, descending through the rock-strewn void in tense silence. You enter the manufactory through a gap in the frame, passing through layers of twisted facility into the deep parts, where you know Flint waits in the dark. You say nothing to each other, afraid that the comms will be intercepted. You lead Xander and Seraphim on, seeking the deep base under the silos where you began setting up the ordnance. The one finished, perhaps there is enough down there for this to work. If not, Seraphim's hand falls on your shoulder, pulling you back. You go to speak, and then you see it. Torch beam lancing through the dark. The hunter, as you saw them on the grainy footage of Xander's cameras, but real now, just below, a long gun held ready at their shoulder, pushing through the dark and broken layers of the facility, taking Flint. Seraphim, Xander, and you exchange wide-eyed glances in silence. The hunter passes below, disappearing into a dark passage. You wait together, the moment stretching out, then descend down into the same passage. The silence is absolute. Suddenly there is a flash of light ahead, bright and forceful in the rumble that shakes rust flakes from the walls. Xander pushes off hard, launching past you into the dark. Seraphim goes to, and you instinctively glide forward as another rumble shakes the foundations of the facility. You come into a low bay scattered with glowing embers. Scorched holes in the walls spew drops of red-hot metal, where a weapon has been discharged. The hunter floats at the center, taking aim again, and you see a flicker of movement on the far side. Flint, retreating. Before you can act, a slight figure in a suit slams into the back of the hunter. Xander. Not a great plan. Not a great plan. As he hits, the hunter's gun spins out of their hand. Rush the hunter! You slam into the hunter, lashing out with your fists. You feel Xander at your side, striking out too. Three of you spin through the spark-filled bay towards a gaping dark shaft at its far side. The hunter, dazed from the blows, kicks out against the two of you, sending themselves spinning away, their torch slipping from their grip and arcing across the bay. As it does, they fall back, unable to find anything to slow their glide, spinning into the dark. The hunter disappears down the shaft as you and Xander drift back into the bay. Got Flint! Seraphim calls over local calls. We ascend now! You look across the two of them, kicking off from the floor of the bay towards a ragged hole in the ceiling. You and Xander exchange a single glance, then follow. Cadence? Seraphim is on the white channel. Detonate this place now! Send the command! There is silence. You ascend through it, through the layers of the manufactory, seeking the open void of space beyond. You feel the manufactory gliding into open space. Silent shockwave, like a gust of wind, runs through the void. The silent rumble spits out a scatter of debris. You turn back, still gliding towards the ship, and see the shattered manufactory. All sections are bending outward, the framework shredded, plating tumbling away in shards. You look across at Seraphim and Flint, their eyes set on the ship. Trying only to stay ahead of the debris, you do the same, fixing your attention on the rake and nothing else. The hunter is dead. Okay, since we are already here, let's use the 6 to gather supplies. And let's try to get supplies out of this one. Energy, which is fine. Yeah. You link back to Olivera, the mute in the rig, one of deep exhaustion. But as the colony appears, visible from the cockpit, the satisfaction of having run a terrifying gauntlet and come back in one piece shifts the mood. The crew's improved mood only becomes more obvious as you draw closer to Oliveira. You come into dock with the colony, you feel a wave of relief. Seraphim pats you on the shoulder as you both wait for the airlock to open. That Hunter. Nice. The Snarp is crueler than I could have imagined. What matters is that we dealt with them. Seraphim nods. We certainly did. The airlock hisses open, revealing the docking bridge where Xander first confronted you. This time another more substantial figure waits in the passage. I hear you're the ones I should be thanking for saving my life. Herman leans against the side of the tunnel, one arm clamped against his waist. So, thank you. He nods at the two of you. Could help. Carmen smiles. I have a feeling there might be more to your arrival than just a friendly traveler offering a helping hand. Carmen! Cadence rushes past the two of you, gliding into Carmen with an embrace strong enough to leave the injured man off balance. Alright, careful. You don't want to put me back into medbay now, do you? Carmen pushes Cadence back with a gentle grip on her shoulders. He flinches as he does, his jaw clearly holding some truth. Sorry. Cadence smiles. Just glad to see you up. Frown crosses Carmen's face. Where's Xander? Losing your vision, old man? Look back to Xander and Flynn behind you in the tunnel. Xander smiles while at Carmen, betraying his happiness to see him. I'll be just fine, Zan. Carmen's words are confident, but his tone suggests he isn't convinced. You notice his hands are tightly balled into fists, as if resisting pain, and wonder if he should really be up at all. Carmen turns to look at you and Seraphim. I think we need to talk. How about you two and Flynn accompany me to Med Bay? Carmen winks. Flynn pushes past you both and goes to Carmen, helping him out of the tunnel. As he does, they exchange a few words, but you are too far away to make them out. You and Seraphim exchange glances and follow behind them into Oliveira.